And in you acknowledging where you're submissive, you know where you have to get more assertive and aggressive.
Yeah.
So is the joyful place for everyone to get to the middle?
No, I don't think so. I don't think I want to get to the middle. I think that, and this goes to me studying my person. I have a A+ in his studies because I just know him, you know. And then it's
Does he have an A+ in you?
I think so. I mean, I think I make it easier for a man to be with me because they don't have to do much.
I have thoughts. What is going on, everybody, and welcome back to Dear Ashley Grace. If you have not already, please go ahead and like this video. Also, make sure that you are subscribed to the channel. Okay. And make sure you press that post notification bell so you know when I post videos next. So recently I was on Instagram and I saw this clip floating around from Shan Boody's Instagram page. And she was having this interview with the Instagram influencer Jasmine Brown, aka Watch Jazzy. And the conversation was about submissive women and about how Jazzy is submissive to her partner. And instead of just going by the clip that was going viral, I went on to her podcast, which is called Lovers and Friends, and I watched and listened to the entire 40-minute podcast, just so that I could have some context and not just responding from a minute clip. It was interesting, to say the least. What I can appreciate about Shan Boody in her interviewing is that she tries her best, even if it's the opposing opinion that she has, to not show it and to be open to receiving other people's perspective. So, because I don't know if I would have been able to keep a straight face during this interview, but it was insightful to see how submissive women think in the aspect of being submissive to their partner and how that looks for them. So first, I want to start off by saying I do recognize that acts of service, whether receiving or giving, is a part of people's love language. But for me, being submissive, the word itself requires some sort of relinquishing or dominance. And that's the part where my views oppose. So in my opinion, I feel that when someone is so willing to be submissive and in servitude of one person all the time, I feel like there are some underlining situations there that makes them that way. And in the interview, Jasmine definitely comments to that as she discusses how she experienced some really bad sexual trauma in her life at the hands of someone that she thought was her boyfriend, but essentially he was a predator. He was an older guy, she was underage, and she thought it was a relationship, but it wasn't. And that relationship kind of shaped her view of relationships. Another thing that she discussed was her relationship with her father and how her mother and her father had this same kind of relationship where her mother was in servitude of him and her father was very demanding and very alpha and very, this is what I say goes, so on and so forth. And so that's how she saw love from a man, and that's how she then expressed her love. So I just made a little note and I said, to me, I felt like she was searching for love and wanting to be loved, particularly from the men in her life and particularly from her father. Also from dating an older man to the point where she just wanted to submit. I believe she wants to be seen, she wants to be heard, she definitely wants to be respected from her partners, but she doesn't know how to advocate for herself due to her upbringing and the trauma that she experienced. But now she chooses her partners in a way that she feels she can love them out of hurt or love them out of pain. And so knowing that backstory, I can understand why she's still submissive in her relationships today. But on the other side of that, when I also think of someone who is submissive, I think of someone who can't do for themselves And this is someone who is relatively popular on social media. She states that she's financially independent, but yet and still she desires a man that is emotionally dependent on her, and where she's physically and emotionally dependent on them. Their happiness, their needs, their wants makes her feel validated, that she can validate them. You know, she said to herself that she has an A in his studies. And when Shan asked her, well, does he have an A in you? She takes a really long pause before she answers and says, I think so, right? And makes a statement saying that it's easy for a man to love her because they don't have to do much. When she said it's easy to love her because the guy doesn't have to do too much, I literally almost wanted to cry. I really did, because it to me, it sounded like a place of hurt. It sounded like someone who was defeated in their pursuit of love, that they couldn't find anything better than what they're being offered. And that's a really sucky place to be in. And it doesn't matter how beautiful you are, how much money you have, how attractive you are. Mentally, if you are not in a place to know that you are worth the things that you need and desire, then it isn't going to work. The mental is a strong place. It supersedes money. It supersedes physicality. Your mental health is your wealth. And if you're not mentally strong there, then you're going to attract the energy of someone who just wants to take from you. And you're going to be willing to give so much because you don't know what you have to offer. You don't know that you're the one, and that's all your partner will need, that you are enough. You're more than enough. And I think subconsciously she wants that, but hasn't mentally gotten to a place where she knows it for herself. And I really hope that she gets to that place, because once she combines her love and her willingness to give with someone who is willing to give her all of that back and then some, she will find herself in a super healthy, happy relationship. And right now, I think she is just supplying and not getting. Shan asked her, well, what kind of man do you submit to? And she says she submits to someone who makes her feel safe, someone who makes her feel comfortable, secure. But my thing is, how do you feel safe with someone that you can express your needs to? I feel like if you're going to be a submissive person, you have to make sure that there is balance. There has to be balance in situations like that. Because if you find yourself just giving, and someone is taking, and you don't have anything on reserve for yourself, then eventually you're going to implode. Thank you all so much for watching this video. If you have not already, please go ahead and like this video. Also, make sure that you are subscribed to the channel, and make sure you press that post notification bell so you know when I post videos next. Thank you all so much, and I'll see you next one. Bye.